Hey Falcons, Mrs. Pfeiffer here. If you can't tell, I am at school for our last week of videos. So this is week 7, video 1. So I first wanted to go review what we've learned, what we learned last week, and then I'll talk to you about what we're going to do this week, and then we will go over some vocab like we usually do and things like that. So last week we read The Fly, and if you remember, we read this disgusting story. We did our KWL chart, so what we knew about flies, what we wanted to know about flies, and then what we learned. And I learned quite a bit. I didn't know that much about flies. They're not really my favorite. They still aren't after reading this book. And then we played a little game with the dice. So if you remember, we rolled and then we had the questions. So we're going to do something similar like that this week. We talked about the difference between fiction stories and nonfiction stories. Right now, what I want you to do is tell someone in the room, what's the difference between a fiction story and a nonfiction story? So if you said that fiction stories are fake, you're correct. So we said like stories like Dragons Love Tacos we read. Trying to remember what other ones we read. But we read some nonfiction ones which are not fake. They're real, like The Fly. And you can tell because they give you facts and things that are true, things that can be proven. Or fiction, it's a lot of made up stories, people's opinions, and things like that. This week, we're going to read another nonfiction story. So we're going to read Sharks. So if you have this, go ahead and get that out for the week. This is going to give us really cool facts about sharks. Sharks are one of my favorite animals. Well, fish, I guess. But I just like them because I just think they're so interesting. And so I'm excited to read this book with you. We're also going to talk about something called text features, and I'm not talking about like texting on a phone. Text features are things that are in a lot of nonfiction stories that help you understand the text better. So, mirrors on. A text feature is things that help you read a nonfiction story. Mirrors off. So text features are things that help you read a nonfiction story. Things like the table of contents, bold words, photographs, illustrations, bullet points, lists, graphs, maps, all kinds of things that are on these things. They help you understand the story better, the text better. And we're going to learn all about what some of those things are today. I wanted to, I had grabbed some books that I got in the mail, and you might have gotten them too. I know you didn't get the shark book, at least I don't think you got the shark book, but you did get some nonfiction stories in the mail, and I wanted to, maybe you did, I don't know. So this is a nonfiction story. And the way you can tell is giving you true facts about apples. And it's a really great story. I wanted to kind of use it at the beginning of the year to learn a little bit more about apples with my students. So, but this is true. This gives you facts about apples and where they come from and all that kind of stuff. So if you have this book, this is a nonfiction book, okay? And you may have gotten this one, Trucks. This is a nonfiction book. I love the National Geographic books. They always are. They're usually nonfiction, and they give you great facts and stuff like that. I thought this was really cool. It gives you like a diagram, so like it's labeling the different parts of a car transport. So labels and stuff like diagrams are going to be part of text features. So they help you understand the story better. I do have some more I pulled out since I'm in my classroom. I got to pull out books. So I pulled out this one, Shark Week, because we're going to be reading about sharks, and this is one of my favorite ones. This is bigger, so I can't read it to you, but it has everything. Like, it has a glossary, an index. So a glossary is where your definitions will be, and an index is where you can go look for a specific word and find out what page it's on. It has bold words, it has charts, it has graphs. This book has quite a bit of text features, and if we have time at the end, we'll look more into this. I don't know if any of you know about the Titanic, but this is also another great book that has plenty of text features, so like a timeline. It has, let's see, photographs, actual pictures of specific things, has the diagram again, so it's labeling the different parts of the Titanic. I also pulled this one out because this is one of my students' favorites. And it's about the different pets that's been rescued, some more of the famous ones. But it has pictures, it has little blurbs and facts, it has different things like that. So those nonfiction stories are real. They give you facts, they give you true information. Okay, and that's what we're going to be reading this week and focusing on this week. Before we begin, I want to go over a few text features, and then I want to go over a vocabulary for the week, so that we're going to find and come across in the story. So let's talk about some of the text features. Now, if you remember, we said text features are things in the story that help you understand what you're reading a little bit better. So one of those things might be the table of contents. Have you ever heard of a table of contents? A table of contents comes at the beginning of a story, and it tells you what page the different headings or chapters might be on. It helps you find the information more quickly. So let me see here. This Trucks book, see if it has one. Yes, it does. It has a table of contents at the beginning. And so if I wanted to find about information about a cement mixer, it says I would go to page 12. So if I turn in the book to page 12, I can read all about the cement mixer. Okay? So table of contents helps you find the information more quickly. Okay, our next one is keywords. And keywords will be in bold letters, italics letters, or in colored letters. So let's see if I can find some in here. Actually, you know what, the Apple book I think has it. Maybe it doesn't. Well, let's see. I'm trying to find a keywords like bold letters for you. Usually they're like vocabulary words, or just things that need to stand out so that you know that they're there. So if you look at this, you can see there's quite a few words, but they're also labeled parts, so I'm sorry I couldn't find it for you. But like this, like the it has the mouth, it has the gill part labeled, so gill slits, that's important to know when you're looking at the diagram. So those are key words. They are words that stand out. They'll be kind of, when I say bolded, it looks like that word bold, right there. So I always forget it's backwards on my screen. Okay. The next one is pretty important. It's going to help you when you're looking at your table of contents, and it's going to tell you what you're about to read about. So it's called the heading. Can you say heading? Heading, and it's kind of like the title of the page, the title of the page or paragraph. So, got heading. So example of this would be like up here at the top where it says senses and hunting. It's telling you that this is going to talk about the shark's senses and how they hunt for their food. Okay, so the next one I kind of already went over is the glossary. The glossary gives you definitions and tells you what words mean. So it's usually found in the back, sometimes found in different spots. So I showed you this one already. It says glossary at the top. This is giving definitions that you might need or that like are bolded in this text. So like phytoplankton, tiny plants that float freely in the ocean currents. Phytoplankton. So that gives you your definitions. And this one I also went over too, but I'm going to go over it again. An index. So can you say index? An index is where you can go. They're usually found in the back of the book as well, where you can go and look for a specific word that you might, it might not be in like the table of contents that you might be looking for. So in the back of this, it's next to the glossary. So if I were going to look I'm looking for information on the nurse shark, I would look on page 13 or 20. So there's information about the nurse shark. Let me see here. Let me look on page 20 and there'll be more. So that just means that somewhere on this page is the word nurse shark. Okay. The next one's pretty easy. So did you know that an illustration or a photograph are actually text features? They are. So photographs and illustrations are really important for nonfiction stories because it helps you visually see it. So, like senses and hunting, I can visually see what the sharks, how they're smelling, where their smelling's coming from, where their sight is, their hearing. That's interesting. I wouldn't know that. Can you see that? So their hearing comes from that little spot right here. So it helps you visually see things. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple more. You don't want to do all these today or in this video, but maybe I'll go over a couple more. A timeline. We saw a timeline in the Titanic book. So a timeline, it tells you events in the order that they happen. So a lot of times nonfiction stories will do that, so you know this happened, then this happened, then this happened. In the Titanic book, it's giving you a time of when the boat finally sank. So like how it started from till when it sank. A caption. This is my favorite text feature, and a lot of kiddos don't know about this one. So a caption. So in nonfiction stories, they have the pictures will sometimes have captions with them explaining what the picture is. So sometimes people don't know what the picture is, so they put a caption with it to explain what the picture is. So if you look right here, there is a postcard, but I don't know. I don't know what it's about. It says passenger John William Gill mailed this postcard to his wife before Titanic sailed. He did not survive. So there's a picture of a real postcard, and it explains what it is right there. So a caption is a sentence that goes with a picture. Not all nonfiction stories have captions like with their pictures, but most do. Okay, let's do diagram. Maybe I will do all these. There's not many left. Diagram and label, we're going to do them at the same time because they kind of go together. So a diagram shows parts of an object or parts of an animal or something like that. Okay, so if you look, this one is showing parts, like it has the telescope, so it has the arm, the base, the stage, the eyepiece. It's showing a telescope. A label is where see these where it says arm, that's the label. So here is a label, labels. And I said that in the shark book there were labels of the different sharks' body parts we saw. So if you look at this one, you can see that they're labeling sight, smell, and hearing where those parts are at. Okay, maybe I should push this back a little bit. Oh, can't go back too much. Can you see it better there? No. Let's see. Oh, how's that? There we go. Okay, we have two more. No, I lied. We have more than two. We have three more, or maybe four. Okay, map. It's pretty self-explanatory. You guys know what a map is. They put them in there so you know where things are taking place and things like that in your story. Okay. All right. The next one is bullets. So sometimes when they put lists in the story, they put bullets there to list things, certain things. So it's just a little dots, if you've ever seen those in a story, and they help you with like a list of stuff. All right, two more, and they go together. Okay. All right. So, chart and a graph, they're very similar. They give you information and list things, and they help you with like the numbers part of understanding different things. I don't know if there's any graphs in the books that I've shared. I don't remember, but if you see those is just giving you data and different information like that. So these are just actually just a couple of text features. There are tons of different text features that you will that you've learned about. So we're going to use these in the story that we're going to read this week. Okay, sorry about that. Forgot to write down our vocabulary words. Okay, so our first I wanted to go over our vocabulary words for the story, the book Sharks. So before we go over that, there are important words that we need to know when we're reading. Now these words I got out of the glossary in the back. So if you have any books like this at home, they always have a glossary in the back with pictures that I really like. So I will show you the pictures too when after we go over the word. So the first word that I'm going to go over is, find it, cartilage. Can you say cartilage? Cartilage. Cartilage is the strong part of the body. It's light and very rubbery. So if you go like this is cartilage. The tip of your nose is cartilage. See how it's stronger, but it's kind of rubbery and you can move it around a little bit. Okay, so mirrors on. Cartilage is part of the body that is strong, rubbery, and light. That is strong, rubbery, and light. Mirrors off. So that is the word cartilage. I'll stick them up here when we're done. Okay. The next word is, I forgot to show you the picture. So if you have this story, cartilage is actually a shark's body is made out of cartilage. So you can see the shark's body in that picture. Okay, the next word is extinct. Can you say extinct? Extincts are plants and animals that are no longer alive. So extincts would be like things like dinosaurs. They're no longer alive. Here, see if I can get close enough. So you see the kids in that picture with the shark mouth, but obviously the shark's not alive anymore. Okay, the next word is predator. Can you say predator? Predator is an animal that eats other animals. Mirrors on, mirrors on. A predator is an animal that eats other animals. Rah. An animal that eats other animals. Rah. Okay, so that's what a predator is. So like a lot of sharks are predators. Lions, tigers, things like that. They eat other animals, so they are predators. Okay, the next one. Oh, I didn't show a picture of predator. So you see, over here, you see it's eating a fish. The next word kind of goes with it. It's called the prey. So the prey is are animals that are eaten by other animals. Okay, so the predator eats an animal, the prey is eaten by the predator. So there is a picture of that. Okay. The next word is prehistoric. Can you say prehistoric? Now, there's a part in this word prehistoric that we need to pay attention to. So prehistoric is the time before people wrote things down. When you see the word pre in a word, it means it probably has something to do with before. So like if you think about preschool, it's before school, right? It's school before you actually go to school. So a lot of times when that's what that prefix is pre means before. So if you see that in a word, a lot of times that meaning might have to do with something that happened before. So this prehistoric means time before people wrote things down. Here's the picture for that. So it has that big sharp tooth. And our last word is serrated. Can you say serrated? Serrated. So serrated means jagged edge. And sometimes sharks' teeth, just look closely there at this picture, see the edges of that tooth, they are serrated. They have like jagged edge teeth. So I don't want to get bit by that. But those are vocabulary words. I will have them up in the next video. But you're going to use those vocabulary words. Actually, I should put them up now so you can pause it, huh? You're going to use those vocabulary words to put them in alphabetical order. You can play our which word is it game. You can, I know you probably in second grade you have used, you did like rainbow writing, you can do that. All kinds of things with these words. Put them in sentences, use them in a story, that would be fun. Yeah. So those are what I would like you to do until the next time, the next video. So I will put these up here for you to pause the video and you can use those for the games. I will see you in the next video. Okay guys, here are your words. So we have serrated, prehistoric, extinct, predator, prey, and cartilage. Go ahead and pause it so you can use the vocabulary words. I will see you in the next video. Bye!